What's up, Patriots? Axel here of Axetruth.com, and this is where I cut through the bullshit. And James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, have done it again. They have gotten a New York Times, a highly profiled New York Times reporter, Matt Rosenberg. And he's on the record of saying that just exposing what we all knew already about January 6th and how the media spun it, because it was a spin. They made it out to be this huge terrorist attack. It was so many angry terrorists, and they broke into the Capitol and they was tearing it up. It was just mayhem everywhere, but yet we have yet to see that video of that. We've only got to see what was contrived from outside and from what the paid agitators that they had, the FBI informants that were involved in this, to do. And this was what Matt Rosenberg also told the honeypot date he was on. I like how they get this. This is funny. Instead of with a date, they get the blipping at the lips. They get loose lips sink ships, and this loose lip is sinking the ship in the New York Times. James O'Keefe, I have to say, this probably may be one of the best. He has so many, but this is a good one, because not only what I thought was most important about Mr. Berg, there's Rosenberg talking about other Bergs. It was just a Berg. He was trashing other Bergs. What I found about this video, I'm gonna put the links. If you haven't seen it, go to Project Veritas' channel on YouTube, and you can see the video. When he got to talking about their subscribers and how the New York Times are always putting out these racial stories and this and that, and remember, I always said they do it on purpose. They're doing it to create division. They're doing it to create this false sense of racism that doesn't exist, not in the way that these race-obsessed shines want it to exist. That's why they do so many race hoaxes. But the bagels that own that paper, they know they don't have it, so they make anything out of anything. So with that, the girl asked her, well, how is this good? Because he doesn't like this Matt Rosenberg. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like what they do, but he says, you have to go with the path of least resistance. So, I got to make my money. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and, write this story and spin it this way, even though I don't believe it. I know otherwise. I'm just going to lie to the public. But I like this quote, what he said. He says, when she asked him about all the racial and racial propaganda, the woke crap that New York Times does, and he said, well, our subscriber base are very prosperous people. I love that. I love to when they get classes over there on the where they're prosperous. They're not poor. They're not average Americans. They're looking for an angle of race, But he said this. He said it turns them off, it's alienating them, and they don't think the world in which everything is defined by racial identity is a good idea. Now, this is a Berg saying this at the Berg paper. Now, Bergs who own this shit. Now, I'm trying to tell you now, if he knows this, you telling me y'all don't know, so you're going to risk your subscriber base, you're going to risk your business behind propagating racial woke crap when you know that is killing off your subscribers? Your subscriber base do not like that shit. It alienates them, and they do not see the world in the prism of racial identity on every fucking thing. That's when he got to that part, I loved it, because I said, he even talked about there are people who work there that are black, the race obsessed shines they have big social media influencing and following, and they don't want to piss them off or get them upset. Because they don't want to get this thing starting on social media. They are ran by the black outrage crowd. This shit just keeps getting better. Oh, wow. But you know, this Matt Rosenberg, you know, he sold his eye. You know, he doesn't have any. He has no principles. He's there to get a check, and and he just. I mean, he just. You know, he writes stories. He writes articles, and he says things in the articles that he know is not true. And he writes it because that's the angle and the narrative that they want to sell to the public. That should tell you everything you need to know, not only about New York Times, it should tell you everything you need to know about all news outlets in the mainstream media. Everything is done to sell you a falsehood, a narrative that does not exist. Exactly what I end my videos with Prince saying, you're going to find out that everything on television is a misconception. It's not true. Isn't that sad? And we have so many people that are so brainwashed, and they call us brainwashed because we don't watch and believe any of that crap that they put on there. Because what's real is out here. What's real is this economy. What is real is these high gas prices. These high gas prices will affect everything. That's what's real. And that's what people know. But yet, it's always some garbage in the media that they want you to look over here, worry about something that doesn't concern bread and butter issues on the kitchen table. And that is why the Democrat Party itself is dying. The Republican Party, they're not dying. They're only existing because the Democrats are dying. But that Republican Party needs to die too, because they don't have to run on anything, really. They don't have to promise to do anything, because the Democrats are that bad and they have nothing to run on. So that leaves you with a party of a bunch of do-nothings as well. This is why I don't have anything for the Republican Party either, because they're not doing anything. All they're doing is lip service. That's it. You know what? Ron Johnson too. You know, I mean, I know he's had a lot of panels and he knows the truth about everything. You ain't doing enough. You're not doing enough to be a senator. Sorry. You got to do more. You got to, I don't care what you got to do, but you need to do a whole lot more than what you're doing, because everything now looks like just lip service. And Americans are hurting behind it. Put your comments below. Go check out those videos and tell me what you think about James O'Keefe's latest expose exposing Mac Rosenberg of the New York Times. One of those birds was just loose lips sinking a ship. And hopefully he just sinks the New York Times. Peace out, everyone.